also like initially thought like, oh, what do I do? I need to keep safe. I need to stay away from people who might be sick, and just making all these arrangements for myself, saying so that I can have that safe space, or making sure that the brothers have enough food, and all the other things that goes with that. And but when I really came back to my prayer and I was praying about it and asking God, like, why is this whole crisis coming, and why are we all suffering in this time? And I felt God really showing me that this is a place where we can really be in solidarity with a lot of people at this time, and we are able to get a taste of people like the less fortunate, say like homeless people, or people in the prisons, or people who've been lonely, or who had no family for years, and maybe the elderly, the ones in the nursing homes where no one's visiting them. So they are always been in this place of self isolation, and maybe even call it a lockdown, where they're not able to go out or do things that any normal person could do. Secondly, I've noticed myself feeling in this, being in this place of hurt, or feeling heaviness when I read the news, and when I'm seeing what's happening around the world. And I realize it's no longer my family or my friends that I'm worried about. When I look out and when I see the people dying around the world, and when I'm noticing what's happening around the world, I feel this deep hurt, or uh, deep solidarity within them. And I realize that it's actually tapping into something more deeper, a deeper desire for relationship, a deeper desire for communion, and that's the church. We are part of a bigger family, and we are no longer just individual people trying to live our own individualistic, selfish lives, but we are actually trying to reach out to people, the poor, the needy, the lonely, and reaching out to every person in humanity. And all this experience of anxiety or confusion, and this pain or hurt, and all this might be really speaking into something deeper, and wanting us to explore what's happening there. And for me, I felt like when I was looking back and trying to understand what's happening, I felt like in my past there were times when I really reached out to people, even though it was not the most comfortable thing for me to do, and that's when I really felt the deep meaning, or deep joy, or happiness. So I guess in this time for us, as Catholics, as Christians, God might be really like inspiring us, or leading us to do something more, or beyond what we would usually do. So probably it's a time for us to experience that real love of God in giving, and not just receiving. So I want to suggest, it might be strange, but I want to suggest that it's actually the gospel message that in giving you will be fulfilled, and in dying to yourself you will come alive as a new person. Thirdly, I want to say that this time of crisis, and this time of the whole pandemic, is probably a time of test for us as Catholics, or as Christians, or human beings even. So, all these years, we've been going to the church, we've been listening to the Word of God, we've been receiving the sacraments, we've been experiencing different miracles, or different ways God has been speaking to us, and through the priests, or the community in the church, and our friends, and through the scriptures. But now I feel it's the time for us to really experience the test, or the examination. And maybe in this time of trial, it's probably an opportunity for us to really discover what we believe, and are we really willing to see the Lord in the poor, the broken, the lonely, and the suffering. Finally, I want to conclude by saying that let's not just flow with the current, and just be like everyone else, trying to just do the basic minimum, but then rather let's take some time to sit back and really discern what the Lord is wanting you and me to do at this time of crisis. For we all have a purpose, a plan to fulfill, and a part to play, so that God's works can come about.